Next year is the 75th anniversary of the UDHR. So it's time for reflection and think about how do we contribute to this process. And at the outset, I think it is very important for us to realize that human rights is transformative, but human rights can also cause conflict if it is not properly understood and if it is not properly contextualized. And today I just want to share with you a little bit about what I think is at the core of human rights, and that is peace. Peace is a composite of many strands and elements that is woven together like a spider web. So for instance, it is about building the right relationship and respectful relationship, and that is why the Ainu people of Japan say Uripa Mashur, which means that everything is related together, the people and also with the nature, and therefore should be treated equally and respectfully. So it's about that kind of a right relationship. Human rights is also about truthful speech. When I was young, my grandfather used to tell me that he used to sing in every meeting that when you talk about bad things, it spreads everywhere. When you talk about good things, it also spreads everywhere. But when you say the right thing, it becomes a center from which everything else branches out in a truthful manner. So what that means is that right things can be done through truthful speech. We come to realize that. The other aspect of human rights and peace is also about justice and resolving problems. And that is why the Dusun people in Malaysia, they would say sogit. Sogit means to cool down. It means that when you have to restore relationship, when there has to be a proper justice done, you must cool down. Everything else becomes heated up, whether it's with nature or whether it is between human beings. So without normalizing yourself, you cannot resolve problem that gathers justice in its fullest sense, and that's why they talk about Sogit. Human rights and peace is also about love, bonding, and harmonious relationship. And that is why Indigenous peoples focus on rituals. Rituals is the space and the place and the time where we pay all our attention. We come together, so it is the deepest sense of communion, it's also the highest level of communion, where we focus only on one thing that binds people together to do the right things and to build the right relationship, and so that we can continue to reconcile and build our relationship in that kind of a ritual where we relate with one another in that spiritual space. So ritual is a spiritual space, and that is also what is about human rights all about. And so bonding also takes place in that kind of space. It's also about building the right institutions and systems based on all this, and that is why we sow our seeds in a particular season, we plant plants and crops in a particular season, we harvest them in a particular season, we collect fireworks in a particular season, we harvest certain kind of medicinal plants in certain seasons, and so on. So what this means is our system of law, that customary law, and also our institutions that regulates this, all these are built on the sort of the natural system, or following the natural patterns and systems, so that it does not conflict, so that we are able to live in harmony with nature and also between people. So all these are some, for example, of these trends and elements of peace and human rights. And what I want to urge all of you as Indigenous brothers and sisters is that you also contribute your piece of strength to this, what we're weaving together, as sort of this spider web that I just mentioned. So be that agent and be that participant. So be like that Spider-Man. Thank you.